Hello students, welcome back again. We are continuing Geography chapter 2. In this chapter, we have completed 3 resources: land, soil and water. Today we are taking 2 another resources given in your chapter: natural vegetation and wildlife. Let's start this chapter. Okay students, our next resource is natural vegetation and wildlife. First, we are taking natural vegetation. Here, in that first paragraph, they have given one incident in one school. There was an exhibition, and they are having some handicraft exhibition. So they are showing different articles made up of natural vegetation and wildlife. So you can find out the different things from natural vegetation and wildlife. We are starting with from the next paragraph, means second paragraph, about natural vegetation. You recall your geography of class 7 chapter 6. The topic was natural vegetation. You remember how many types of natural vegetation you learn? First, in that class I explained you the meaning of natural vegetation, and then we bifurcate and you have made very nice chart. You remember anything? Okay, so again I am telling you what is the meaning of natural vegetation. Natural vegetation refers to the plant life of a region which has grown naturally without human aid, means without any human disturbance. They are also termed as a flora. Here it is given that the natural vegetation is a plant life. Without any human disturbance, interference, it grows naturally. That is called natural vegetation. The natural vegetation is the endowments of nature. They grow naturally by following the climatic variables. Natural vegetation means the plant that haven't been grown by humans and produced naturally. They have been left undisturbed for a period of long time by humans. Right? In forest area, if you visit, there is no human being, me or I, gone there and grown seeds, and then this forest grown up. It's grow naturally. The types of natural vegetation differ according to the precipitation, soil, climate, topography. The cultivated crops, fruits, orchards form part of vegetation. But suppose in my farm, or if I have farmer, or if I have agricultural land, what crops or fruits I am growing, it is a vegetation, because by my willingness or by my side I am growing it. So it is not a natural vegetation. But in forest, whatever the trees and whatever the vegetation you find, it's grown naturally. So that's why this is the difference between natural vegetation and vegetation what we are growing in our field or farm. Natural vegetation means the plant that have been grown by humans, that haven't been grown by humans. The growth of vegetation depends on temperature and moisture. It also depends on the factors like slope, what type of thickness of soil is there. It is categorized into 3 broad categories. Right? You remember last time you made a flow chart. 3 main categories of natural vegetation. First was, what is first category? Forest. Second, grassland, and third, shrubs. Okay. Forest again bifurcated into 6 types of forest. Tropical evergreen forest, tropical deciduous forest, temperate evergreen forest, temperate deciduous forest, Mediterranean forest, and coniferous forest. Then grassland, 2 types of grassland, temperate grassland and tropical grassland. Shrubs also 2 types, that tundra vegetation and thorny bushes. So overall total 10 types of natural vegetation found on the earth's surface. But it is categorized, these categories depends on the temperature, moisture, soil, what type of land is there, that type of vegetation will found there. Now here it is given that biosphere. What is biosphere? The narrow zone of contact between the lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere, that we call biosphere. In the biosphere, living beings are interrelated. They are connected with each other interdependent on each other for their survival. Right? Plant need animals, animal need plants. And in this way, life supporting system is created, that is called ecosystem. So biosphere is a narrow zone where all these other three spheres contacted and they form very important life supporting system, that is ecosystem. Vegetation and wildlife are valuable resources. Plant provide us so many things. If we make a list, then pages on pages we can fill with the useful product from the plant. It protects soil. So number one, in previous source also you will learn that afforestation is most important to protect soil, to protect water. So both the things are important for growing crops. It acts as a shelter belt. Natural vegetation act as a shelter belt, help in the storage of underground water. Natural vegetation gives us fruit, nuts, latex, turpentine oil, gums, medicinal plant, and also the paper that is most essential for our studies, for your studies, for me to write. There are innumerable uses of plant, and you can add some more, right? So, importance of natural vegetation. Vegetation is a general term for the plant life of a region. It refers to the ground cover provided by plant and by far the most abundant biotic element of the biosphere. Vegetation serves several critical functions in the biosphere at all possible spatial scales. Number one, if we want to give importance, then number one, vegetation regulates the flow of numerous biochemical cycles, most critically those of water, carbon and nitrogen cycle. You must have learned in this science subject. It is also of great importance in local and global energy balance. Right? Natural vegetation is playing very important role in balancing global energy and local energy. Such cycles are important not only for global pattern of vegetation, which type of fruits, which type of vegetables will be there or crops will be there, but for climate also it is very important. Second importance of this natural vegetation is it strongly affects soil characteristics, including soil volume, chemistry of soil, texture of soil, which type of soil will be there. It depends on vegetation grown on it. Third important is this, it saves wildlife habitat. Most of the wildlife we found in forest, dense forest. So it's really a shelter for wildlife. Without it we cannot imagine wildlife, and without wildlife ecosystem will be disturbed. Vegetation is also critically important to the world economy, particularly in the use of fossil fuels as an energy source, but also in the global production of food, wood, fuel and other materials also. I will say perhaps most importantly, global vegetation including algae communities has been the primary source of oxygen in the atmosphere, which is very important for us, for our thing, inhaling an aerobic metabolism system to evolve the persist. Lastly, vegetation is psychologically important to humans who evolved in the direct contact with it and dependence on vegetation for food, shelter, etc. Now, distribution, there I told you that if we divide, that depends on the types of the land, depends on the earth. Some areas are having evergreen forest. India, luckily we are living in India and we are having all the 10 types of vegetation. Evergreen forests are also there. Tropical deciduous forests are also there. In Himalayan area you can find coniferous forest. Mediterranean vegetation are also found in some areas. Right? So we are lucky to have this type of temperature, climate, land, soil. So we can have all 10 types of vegetation on earth. But it is our duty to conserve this most important resource. Okay students, hope you understand all about natural vegetation, its types and availability. Now I am focusing on wildlife. Wildlife includes animals, birds, insects, as well as the aquatic life form. And they provide us very important things like milk, meat, hide, and wool. So, wildlife traditionally refers to undomesticated animal species but has come to include all organisms that grow or live wild in area without being introduced by human, without any disturbance of human. Wildlife can be found in all ecosystem and they are very important to balance the ecosystem. Wildlife play an important role in balancing the environment. Wildlife provide a stability to different natural process of nature. The importance of wildlife can be categorized as ecological because it important to ecosystem balance. Second, we can say economic importance and investigatory importance. Conversion of biological diversity, it's very important. Wildlife, to maintain the wildlife is very important to maintain this diversities, and it is very important in ecosystem also. If we are discussing about the importance of wildlife, we can say wild animals plays an important role in maintaining natural balance. Carnivores control the growth of vegetarian animals by eating vegetarian animals. Vegetarian animals control the increase in the number of unusable vegetation by eating vegetation. This keeps a balance in nature and does not cause unexpected increase in the number of herbivorous animal and carnivorous animals or flora. So this is how they are maintaining the balance. Wildlife also has a great importance from an economic point of view. Different types of medicines are made from many types of wild plants. We get wood from the forest itself, wool is obtained, fibers are obtained, other useful content is obtained. Many useful products like meat, medicines, lac, silk are obtained from wild animals. Wildlife also has great importance in terms of tourism. The tourism industries get a boost by developing the wildlife protected area as a tourist destination. We have a very nice example in our Gujarat, in our Saurashtra region, that is Sasangir. Scientific experiments are done on some animals in wildlife. These experiments are related to the discovery of new drugs, new medicines, and this helps in making medicines for treatment for any kind of diseases. Right? For suppose corona, they are doing so many experiments, keep on doing experiments to find the vaccines. So they are doing experiment on wild animals, wildlife. Wildlife cleans and balance the surrounding ecosystem. Right? The birds feeds on insects and act as a decomposers. Vulture, due to its ability to feed on dead livestock, is a scavenger and considered a vital cleanser of environment. So animal, whether it is a big or small, all are integral to maintaining balance in ecosystem. So this in this paragraph they have given importance of wildlife. As a natural vegetation refer as a flora, wildlife refer as a fauna of any place. So when we are talking about flora and fauna means natural vegetation and wildlife. Now students, in this paragraph what I have earlier explained, that they have given the distribution of natural vegetation, means first they have given the types of natural vegetation, forest, shrubs, grassland, and here different types. Now the most important topic is conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. After the discussion of forest, importance of forest, discussion of importance of wildlife, now we come to know that these resources are very important to survive, to sustainable development. Forests are considered as our wealth. Plant gives us shelters to animals. Together they maintain the ecosystem. Changes of climate and human interference disturb and it result in the loss of natural habitat for the plant and animals. Many species have become vulnerable. Vulnerable means out of our reach or endangered and some area on the verge of extinction. Verge of extinction means now they are about to extinct. We are not able to see in future. Deforestation, soil erosion, constructional activities. Students, you can underline all these reasons. Forest fires, tsunami, landslides are some of the human-made and natural factors which together accelerate the process of extinction. Because not only just natural reasons, but human-made activities, human-made factors are also accelerate the process of extinction of these great natural resources. Actually, when we are doing this activity, we don't know that what we are doing, but result is very bad. One of the major concern in the increasing incident of poaching. What is the meaning of poaching? Poaching means illegal hunting of wild animals. One of the important concern, major concern in the increasing incident of poaching that result in a sharp decline in the number of particular species. The animals are poached for collection and illegal trade. First they hunt them, kill them, and then their body parts, hide, skin, nail, teeth, horn, they are selling in national and international market. And these parts, these animal skins and all, they are having very high value in market. So for this purpose they are killing tiger, lion, elephant, deer, black buck, crocodile, rhinos, snow leopard. One of the latest example in front of us, that is in yesterday's newspaper, I was reading that one pregnant elephant was killed by killed in Kerala by some people. They feed her that pineapple, and it was full of firecrackers. So it burst in her stomach, and she was pregnant. So they killed two elephants. It was really inhuman activities. I was telling you about the forest fire. So here they have given example of California. Before many years that fires occur in that California, these all are the news cutting of the forest fire. And we in 2019 we are having latest example of forest fire in Australia. In Australia's forest, all of a sudden fire occurred, fire burst out, and so many trees and animals died in this. So here they have given very nice activities. You can see here. First, they have given the meaning. What is the meaning of forest fire? Forest fire is a threat to entire region of fauna and flora. It occurs mainly due to three reasons. All of sudden fire occur in the region that is called as a forest fire. What are the reasons? Number one, natural fire due to lightning. Many times it's happened because of atmosphere change, climate change, and thunder and lightning happen, and then this lightning happen in this forest area, then fire occur. That is a natural reason, we can understand. Second, fire due to heat generated in the litter due to carelessness of people. When people are visiting in forest area, they litter here and there, and when something happen in this friction or any other reason, and fire occur. Fire because of heat generation and fire occur. Third, purposely caused because people wanted some land, some animals, so they purposely put fire in forest area. So these are the reasons. Now they've given some control measures. How can we control? See, number one is very important. Prevention of human caused fire through education. First thing, we need to spread awareness. We need to spread education. People are intentionally, purposely doing, so we need to teach them that it is wrong. It is not only in their benefit, it is harmful for nature, it is harmful for society, ecosystem, all. So spreading of education, awareness. Second, it is a government part, prompt detection of fire through well coordinated. How can we detect fire? Well coordinated network should be there. proper patrolling, ground patrolling should be there, and very well strengthened communication network should be there. So in this way we can control forest fire. Okay. Now government is also continuously doing their part. They are constructing national park, wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves are made to protect our natural vegetation and wildlife. Conservation of creeks, that small leakages, lakes and wetland is also necessary to save the precious resources and from depletion. So if government keep on checking all these creeks, lakes, wetland, and if proper measure will be taken, so we can save these precious resources from the depletion. There is a balance in the environment in the relative number of species. It's not disturbed. Suppose if balance is maintained, then species will not disturb. Human activities in several parts of the world have disturbed the natural habitat of many species due to indiscriminate killing several birds and animals. Right? First, in ancient time, hunting was allowed. It was not banned or illegal. But indiscriminate killing, once they started killing, hunting tiger or lion, so they keep on doing this. Black bugs, so they keep on doing. So due to indiscriminate killing of several birds and animals, they are verge of extinction. So government started Van Mahotsav. You must have heard about Van Mahotsav. Awareness program like social forestry and Van Mahotsav should be encouraged at the regional and community level. Right? No doubt we as educated people we know that planting more and more trees, afforestation are important. But at regional level where these foresters are there, we need to do at regional and community level. School children should be encouraged, right? From our school we are doing plantation. So this type of program should be do frequently and aware people also. We should encourage bird watching when we are having some trips. So we are focusing on the natural things, bird watching, visiting nature camps. So this will also make people aware about nature and people will tend to protect the nature. Many countries have passed laws declaring that the trades as well as killing of birds and animals are illegal. In India also, in India, killing of lions, tigers, deers, great Indian bustards and peacocks have been banned because we are having very less number of these species. So government has banned on hunting and killing. This is very important. An international convention, CITES, in short it is called CITES. They have given a brief description of CITES here. CITES, the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. This is an international agreement between governments. It means not only Indian government but other countries' government also come in the contract agreement. It aims to ensure that international trade in specimens of wild animals and plants does not threaten their survival. Roughly around 5,000 species of animals and 28,000 species of plants are protected by CITES. Bears, dolphins, cacti, corals, orchids and aloes are some examples protected by CITES. So this is also important steps taken by government. An international convention CITES has been established that lists several species of animals and birds which are trade is prohibited because they are less in number. So related to their anything trade is prohibited. Conservation of plant and animal is an ethical duty of every citizen. Whether you are small, you are elder, you are government, whatever the your status, but it is our ethical duty to protect plant and animals. If we protect them, and by the end, we will protect by them. So this is our ethical duty, and we, as a citizen, we need to spread awareness and education. Okay. Okay, so that's all for today's lesson. We completed these two resources, natural vegetation and wildlife. Related to this, I have given one assignment. Please check on Google Classroom and complete it by the time. Till that time, complete your work. We will meet again. Goodbye, students.